Guilty, guilty, guilty was the verdict read in the Los Angeles courtroom just 2 days before Christmas. Today's Star Peterson, better known to the public as Tory Lanez. Now, this trial has caused a wide range of mixed emotions. On one side, feeling betrayed by the system, and the other side, feeling some type of justice. Tory Lanez was accused and convicted of the shooting of Megan Thee Stallion on July 12, 2020. Now, for many people, this was a verdict we wouldn't accept due to lack of evidence, discrepancies, and multiple stories from star witnesses, and simply more than enough reasonable doubt being provided by the defense in front of the jury. The repercussions of this Tory Lanez verdict was 20 years in prison and a high chance of him being deported back to Canada. Now, not only was this verdict career suicide, it was indeed a huge detriment to his son that he leaves behind. Some may say this was the modern day OJ case, with the evidence stacked against Tory Lanez being so inconclusive, many are shocked a unanimous decision was reached by 12 jurors. Now, Tory Lanez was a person of interest from the jump. The media had 2 years to plant the seeds and paint the narrative of him as an abuser, and it worked. This case wasn't even solved yet, but he is in jail. There is no conclusive answer on who shot Megan, and a witness who woke up to an argument of her and Kelsey fighting in the street said they saw a woman shoot the gun first and a man shoot the gun to there 4 times. The prosecution was very sloppy throughout this whole case. At first, Megan Thee Stallion said the shooting happened over an argument over stature in the rap game, but left out the part that her and Kelsey got into a fight while they were all drunk because Megan was sleeping around with Tory, Kelsey's man at the time. Although her sexual history seems very inappropriate to be brought in front of the public eyes, it's very important because if she wasn't involved with so many people, there is a major chance that none of this would have happened. Tory and Meg met each other in 2020 at a Rock Nation brunch and became closer and closer during the 2020 COVID pandemic with his Quarantine Radio, which was a hit. Now, Rock Nation, Jay-Z's record label, had their best hitters in the batting cage with star lawyer Alex Spiro, who even represents Jay-Z himself and Elon Musk. Now, Megan Thee Stallion simply played the victim role immaculately. She talked about how if she knew she would have went through all this trauma, she would have hoped that she died. And although her story didn't align, her emotions and a strong Protect Black Women campaign had a super effect. The death of Tory Lanez's career. After July 12th of 2020, Tory Lanez's career was officially in shambles. He was getting booked. Artists, particularly female artists, wouldn't work with him, and he was getting blackballed 2 weeks before a verdict was even reached. Now, regardless if the verdict came back innocent, people would have still deemed him guilty based off their own personal beliefs and cut his streaming plays. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but isn't it weird that now that Tory Lanez is independent, no longer backed by Interscope Records, the media and hip-hop executives would not care if he lives or dies? The 3 charges that Tory Lanez got convicted on was carrying an unregistered loaded firearm, assault with a semi-automatic firearm, and lastly, discharging firearm with gross negligence. Let's set the record straight. Tory Lanez was on trial, but it seemed like the judge and the jurors only held him accountable. Every reason for Meg lying or leaving key information out the story gets excused by, oh, she was drunk, or it was a foggy night, or it happened so fast. She simply just denied and claimed zero accountability for anything that points her in a negative light. Even so much as there were talks of her suing independent media outlets for coverages of the story, but we all know this is directed at DJ academics. I don't think the average person watching this video realizes how bad the prosecution was losing this case. They came up with 2 new charges 2 days before the trial ended, charging Tory with 2 counts of witness intimidation for Megan Thee Stallion and Kelsey Harris, simply showing that they knew that their more heavy charges that they were going at Tory with wasn't going to stick, and they were throwing Hail Marys just to make sure he got charged with something. Now, there were allegations that Tory paid Kelsey $1 million to keep her quiet. Now, this simply makes no sense because Kelsey did an interview with the prosecutors in September of 2022 and said that Tory shot Megan. Now, if Tory paid her off from 2020 to 2022, which is 2 years by the way, what sense does it make for her to still do an interview and say information that can hurt Tory? And then when she goes to court and appears on the stand, and she says that she lied in the interview because she felt pressured and coerced, and sets the record straight, and saying that Tory didn't shoot Med, they no longer want to deem her a credible witness and don't want to believe her. Now, Kelsey Harris was the prosecutor's key star witness. They plan on her simply coming on the stand and saying Tory shot Megan, tying with Megan's whole narrative, even though the story didn't align. Now, it would have been a majority rules and painted him as a shooter. Now, although nobody's talking about this, Justin, which is Megan's bodyguard, never appeared to court. Now, if you ask me, I personally feel like he didn't appear to court because he would have to tell the truth, and that truth may incriminate Meg because, as we all know, we don't even know the truth. Even though Tory Lanez got convicted, we don't know the truth of who shot what happened. All we know is they left Kylie's party, got into an argument, a neighbor saw what happened, shots flew, and Meg somehow got shot in the foot. We don't know who did what. We hear that there was a woman on the gun first, then the man took the gun, and the man shot in the air. There's no concrete, simple story explaining everything that happened. Everybody has a story that doesn't align, and although someone is in prison, Tory Lanez, God bless that brother, we don't even know what shot hit Megan or who did it. This trial was simply more of a gender bias than anything. You know, if you don't automatically believe Megan, you're labeled as a woman abuser. Even though her story made no sense. She went on Instagram Live multiple times with different stories that didn't align. And even if you use logic and evidence, such as no DNA evidence on the gun, gunshot residue on Tory and Kelsey, it really paints a picture that a physical altercation happened which led to a fight for the gun. But the prosecutors don't want you to think like that. They want to paint the image and narrative that Tory Lanez, a 5'3" man, got in his feelings over an argument over stature in the rap game and led to retaliation where he shot a woman, a black woman at most, in the foot because he was upset. Now this trial shows it's not about what he feels right or wrong, it's about what you can prove. This trial was a bad look on both sides. I know jurors want to go home for Christmas, but is this really the right decision? Other than Tory saying I'm sorry, which had zero context, the prosecutor said it was sorry for the shooting, and Megan simply said that he shot her. Now this case is simply he say versus she say, but Megan still to get hurt, and I don't want to ignore that. But this guilty verdict was given based off emotions and logical feelings, and this is something that a lot of people like myself can't really come to terms with. And just like that, the Toronto Big Three of Drake, Tory Lanez, and The Weeknd is down to 2. Now, if you're interested in more content like this, make sure you watch my YJ playlist tagged above. I'm putting out way more content. Thank you guys for showing me mad love, man. We're going up, and I appreciate everything you guys do. Please comment more. I want to know what you guys feel, what you guys want me to do, and just simply give me overall feedback, man. I'm rocking with y'all, and let's go, man.